Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. As you can probably read from the title and also from my outfit, you can guess today we will be reviewing the COLOURPOP times BT21 collection, and my 2019 army heart was literally screaming when I saw this collection. I used to be such a big army a few years back. I still am, but not as big as I used to be. I was definitely buying merch and their albums when I definitely could not afford it, but definitely I'm still a big fan and still listen to their music. I literally named my cat Cookie after Cookie, like it's the same spelling. So when I saw this collection, I felt like it was just my two worlds colliding. K-pop, COLOURPOP, you know, it just is so cute. And this collection is super cute, and I got the entire collection here to share with you today. So I'm going to share with you my thoughts on everything. I got swatches, also comparisons as well. I was contemplating if I should do comparisons, but I was like, you know what, let's just do it. And then at the end I also have my 3 looks for you. So with that being said, if you guys are interested in seeing this collection and hearing my thoughts on it, then please continue watching. Alright, so first up in the collection we of course have the Bon Voyage 24 pan eyeshadow palette. It is super cute. It's giving all of the summer vibes, and we have all of the characters on the cover, and then on the back we also have them floating around with all of the shade names. And then when you open it up, you get the Bon Voyage on the cover, and then here is the beautiful color story. So there's a mix of mattes with little shimmers, we got pressed glitters, and also metallics. And I would describe this to be somewhat of like a rainbow palette because you really do have a little bit of everything in here. And because this is a really heavily themed collection, a lot of the shades do make sense in why they did pick it. The only shade to me I didn't really get is this green, because I was like, is there any character that has this emerald green on them? And I was like looking at them, I'm like, none of them have green. So if I'm missing something out, or if they just wanted to pop a green in, that's totally cool as well. But yeah, I feel like every color in here makes sense. It's part of a character or part of a character's clothing, and that's just what's going to happen when a collection is heavily themed. The basing it off characters. But I think this palette is actually really well done. When I first saw it, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like with a lot of COLOURPOP palettes and collections, when I first see it, I'm not exactly like jumping out of my seat, grabbing my wallet, I need this right now. Usually I'm not too excited because, you know, they come out with so many things. Even though it was BT21, yes, I was excited that it was a collab with BT21, but when I saw the colors, I was like, you know, I love my 9 pans. I have a lot of colorful shadows. I'm not sure if this is one that I'm like really screaming for. So I guess my expectation was a little bit lower, and then when I started using this palette, my love for this palette is like up here. I think this palette is actually a really great rainbow muted palette. I was surprised by the looks that I could create. So for my first and second look, they were pretty much inspired look, and usually with those kind of looks I need to grab multiple palettes to achieve it. But with those 2 looks, I was able to get everything out of this one palette because it just has a really great vast of different shades. And even today I'm wearing something very Judy, very neutral, soft glam, and it's all from this palette as well. So I think even if you want something a little bit more neutral or colorful, the color combos are there. I think the choice of pressed glitter as well, I really loved it too. And I think with the mattes to shimmer ratio, that was great as well. So I think like overall, honestly, like to my surprise, I really enjoy this palette. If we compare it to, for example, their Fade into Hue palette, I don't know, I don't reach for that palette. I don't reach for that rainbow palette. I feel like this is a different take on it. The shades are a little bit more unique. Like for the blue, we have something a little bit more teal or very berry, and then for the pinks, they're more like muted and lavender. And then I'll show you some other comparisons as well. I'm sure whoever is watching this video is probably an army, so I don't think the comparisons are going to be so helpful. But if you are not an army and you have no idea what BT21 is, but you just think this collection is cute, you want to see what you can compare it to in your collection, this is specifically for you, this little section here. But overall, I really enjoyed the Bon Voyage palette. I think if anything, the metallics that I did end up using, they're more on the satin side. They're not as foiled as I would like them to be, but they're nonetheless still very pretty. So yeah, with that being said, I actually really enjoy this. I don't know how other people are feeling about it, but I really enjoyed it. But then next up in the collection we have the Supershock shadows. So each character has their own individual shadow, and these are $8 each, or if you wanted to get all 7 it is $45 USD. The outer cardboard packaging is really cute as well, but the actual component, it matches, you know, the character's color, has their little face on it, which is so cute. So I didn't actually get to use these on my eyes. I only use RJ for my RJ look. The others I only have swatches for you, so hopefully you guys can see them through here. But these are their tie-dye Super Shock. So it has different shades, different dimensions, and once you swirl it around you'll get like a really unique shade. But let's take a deeper look into the Super Shock. So starting off with RJ, his one is called Fluffy and Hungry. When you swirl everything together you will get more of like a light gold champagne color. So I think out of the bunch, maybe RJ definitely is the one that is the most approachable. You can definitely see yourself wearing the most. Then we move into Shuki. His one is called Making Mischief. His one is more of like a deeper bronzy shade, so again I think this one would be the second most approachable one, since it's a bit more warmer and bronzy. You could put this all over the lid. That would be super pretty as well. Next we have Chimmy. His one is called Passionate Friend. His one took me by surprise because his shade is green. I was expecting it to be maybe a yellow, because that would have been really nice actually. I haven't seen ColourPop have a Super Shock shadow that's like a pure yellow, like in a metallic. That would be gorgeous. But his one, once you swirl everything together, it is a really pretty lime green. Next up we have a Cookie, and his one is called Playful Sweetheart. When you swirl it all together you will have a beautiful rosy pink gold shimmer shade. Then we have Mung. His one is called Just Like Sunshine. This one's a really nice, like very peri purple, or could it be just a very peri color? Whenever I see very peri this year, I'm just gonna call it out because I don't know. I can't get out of my head. Then we have Koya. His one is called Truly Loving, which is so cute. This one's more of like a lavender lilac purple. Has hints of very peri in there, but definitely more to the purple side. And then lastly we have Tata. His one is called Crown Prince, and once you swirl this one all together it's like a raspberry red. In the pan you can actually see some of those tie-dyes of that very peri, but nonetheless it is also a very beautiful shade. And these are all of the Super Shocks. I think there's definitely a good range in here, so if you want something a little bit more colorful or something a little bit more neutral, then you definitely have those options. And I actually do think these are quite unique when it comes to shades. I do have a few Super Shocks, but I definitely don't have a lot of like the OOG Super Shocks. So maybe if you've been with ColourPop like since the beginning and they release all of their OG Super Shocks, then maybe these might not be as unique. But in my collection I actually found it quite hard to find comparisons for a lot of these shades. I think it's because of the tie-dye. When you mix so many shades together it gives a different unique undertone, so I couldn't find something exactly. But lastly in the collection we have the Luxe Lip Oils. These go for $10 each, or you can get it in a set for $28 USD, and there are 3 shades in total. The first shade is called Across the Galaxy, and this one is like a clear lip oil with lots and lots of little gold reflex and glitters in there. It is super pretty, but definitely more on the sheer side. So definitely with lip oils and lip glosses, if they have a clear base, they are going to look pretty similar on the lips. But if you were to wear a darker lip color underneath this lip oil, those gold glitters definitely will show up. And then we have BFFs, which is the Coral Orange, which I think probably would have to be my favorite. I absolutely love this one. This one's a bit more tinted. There are no glitters in here. So this one I definitely think out of the 3 is my favorite. And then lastly we have Mighty Squad, which I actually do have on my lips. In the packaging it does look a little bit more red than pink, but when you apply it, it definitely comes off a little bit more fuchsia pink, which to my disappointment I guess, I was hoping that this was going to be like a true red, because I've been loving a red gloss, like a hot fire spicy gloss. This one's from Tower 28. It's literally called Spicy. I'm like halfway through the tub. I love this. I wear it all the time. I'm actually wearing it on top of this lip oil because I wanted it to be a little bit more red, and I wish this would have been red. It would have been perfect. I mean, with my RJ look, it would have been perfect, but it definitely does come off fuchsia pink. And you'll see in my comparisons, I actually have another one in my collection that looks exactly exactly the same. But yeah, that is the entire collection and my thoughts on it. If you want to purchase the entire collection as a whole, the palette, the super shocks, the lip oils, it is 110 USD. And if you do want to save 10% off your order, you can use my code JUDY at checkout. My code will work on this collection, which is great because you can save a bit of money, but I do earn a small commission if you do choose to shop with my code, which I of course am so appreciative. Before I show you guys my 3 looks, I wanted to show you this little LED lamp that ColourPop did send in PR with the collection. So they sent me Chimmy. So it comes with a remote. You can put it on flash, you can stick to one color, but I think it's a really nice thing to just display, so I have him here. So I thought I would just show you if you guys are interested in this. It's not from ColourPop, it's from Otaku Lamps. So if you guys are interested, I will have it linked down below. I'll find the link for you guys if you are interested. I've seen other creators get other characters, so I'm sure they have all the characters, and I'm sure they have other lamps as well. So I'll leave them linked down below, but I just thought that was so cute to share. And I just have RJ, Chimmy, and Cookie. But with that being said, that was my thoughts on everything. Let's go ahead and move into the 3 looks. I hope you guys will enjoy them. Alright, so the first look was actually inspired by Chungha. This was one of the looks that she wore in her sparkling music video, and I absolutely love the color combo, and we can actually do it with this one palette alone, which is amazing. So I'm starting off with the shade Prankster, which is the bright vibrant orange. I'm focusing this first at the outer corners of my eyes, and I'm kind of keeping it in towards my lid area, and then I'll slowly diffuse that out by blending that up into my crease. So we have a nice blended look. So I'm just going to stamp that on at the outer corners of my eyes to get that pigment going, and then I will slowly blend that out into my crease, and then taking a pencil brush, I'm going to work that into the inner third of my eyes, pretty much just creating a halo eye. But I'm also going to take that orange into my inner corner and then onto my lower lash line at the inner third as well. And then we're going to move along to the outer corners of my eyes on my lower lash line and connect those shadows there. So pretty much just the outer corner and the inner corner will have this bright vibrant orange. Then I'm going to take a mix of Gotta Dance and Talented, and we're going to place that right at the center of our lids, and this is going to give a beautiful halo effect because of the contrasting blue teal with the orange. These two on the color wheel is quite opposite, so they are really pretty contrasting colors, so it really does stand out. And I'm just mixing these 2 blue teal shades because I felt like one was a bit too dark, one was a little bit too light blue. So a mix of these 2 I feel like was perfect for this highlight halo shade. Now I'm going to move into the shade Tada, and this is going at the center of our eyes on our lower lash line. So doing another halo effect, but this time on the lower lash, blending that into the oranges at the outer corners. And then to top it off, I'm taking the shade Hearty Rumps, and I'm going to apply that right on top of Tada, that pale yellow shimmer. This is going to give more dimension to the eye look, and also Chungha did have a bit of glitter on her eyes on the lower lash line. It also emphasizes your A-girl style as well, which I absolutely love. But now to just complete the look, I'm taking this gel eyeliner from Oden's Eye. It's in number 10, and I'm going to use that to tightline my entire bottom waterline. It pretty much matches that teal metallic shadow perfectly. It doesn't show up too well in the waterline, but you definitely can see hints of it. And here we have the first look completed, again inspired by Chungha. I absolutely love how it turned out. Definitely a color combo like I really haven't done before, and I love how you can get such a unique color combo from just one palette. Alright, so now onto the second look. This one is inspired by Jellybean on Instagram. I'll have her Instagram linked down below. I absolutely love her makeup looks and her techniques. They're just so unique but very, very pretty at the same time. So I was inspired by this one. My color story is a little bit different, but let's hop right into it. So I'm starting off with the shade Off the Wall, which is like a raspberry red. It has little specks of glitters in there, which you will see on the eyes, but but it's not too glittery, and I'm just taking a little bit of this because I just want a light wash of this into my crease. So taking that directly into my crease using windshield wiping motions to get that blended up towards my brow bone and also towards the outer corner. We want to make sure we are blowing this out because we want to see it underneath all of the other shadows. Now I'm going into the shade Talented, which is the icy teal blue, and I'm going to use this to sort of cut my crease. You don't have to be so precise with it because we are going to cover that with glitter, but I think it's nice just to get that outline map going. So I'm just applying that to the inner third of my eyes and stopping midway on my lid and going above the natural fold of my crease, so that way when I do look up you still can see the shadow. Now taking the shade Nom Nom, I think that's how you say it. This is going at the outer corners of my eyes. This is that sort of very peri blue metallic shade, and I think it goes well with, you know, that icy teal at the inner third. This is just going to give us a little bit of depth at the outer corner. But now I'm going to take a mixture of Curious Soul, which is that very peri blue, and then Sleepyhead, which is that pinky lavender. I'm going to take a mixture of these two and apply that to the outer corners on my lower lash line. I wanted something in between a purple and blue, so mixing these two shades to create this color. And then I'm going into Fluffy. I know I'm using a lot of shades, but I'm taking the shade Fluffy and I'm going to apply that to the inner corners of my eyes to really highlight that area. So we do have a little bit of Talented already on that area, but I do want to just apply Fluffy on top and make it more pigmented and intense. But now I'm going back into Off the Wall, the raspberry red pink, and I'm going to apply that to the center on my lower lash line, just taking a fluffy brush and just diffusing it there, blending the shadows all together. And now taking the pressed glitter called Thinker, the blue glitter, I'm going to apply that right on top of that cut crease line that we created earlier with the metallic shadow. And I'm pretty much just going to cover that cut crease line. This is going to be our cut crease, and I'm just dabbing it in, making it look quite sparse but also defined at the same time, if that makes sense. I think it's much easier for you guys to see what I'm doing than me trying to explain. But just focusing it at that cut crease line. I'm not gonna go all the way, just sort of like a half cut crease shape. Now I'm taking the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter in the shade Grind, and I'm just gonna apply that onto my lower lash line at the inner third for that highlight, but also on top of that cut crease just to get a little bit more dimension and texture with these smaller micro glitters from the Urban Decay liner. And then taking more glitter. I know for this look I'm using like a lot of shades, a lot of products, but we need the sparkle. So I'm taking the Unleashia Tap Me palette and taking the glitter in here. I'm just using my ring finger and I'm gonna dab that under my eyes for a little twinkle, because in the inspo you can see she drew on sparkles, but I just wanted to keep it a little bit more simple and just do some little glitter tears under my eyes. Alright, and finally for the last step, I'm taking a white eyeliner. This one is from Glisten Cosmetics, and I'm just creating like a little flick from my crease, from the glitter crease, and just flick it out. This is optional, but I really do think it adds a little bit more dimension. But here we have the second look completed. I absolutely love how it turned out. Although it's not exactly the same colors as my inspiration pick, I still love this color story, and it's just so much fun with all of the glitters, and this technique is something definitely different from me. I don't usually do this like glitter cut crease, but I am gonna do this from now on because I love it. And I'll have her Instagram link down below. She is like my go-to source of inspiration for makeup looks. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this second look. And finally, onto the final look. I'm first starting off with the shade Crunchy Squad, and this is going to be our transition shadow. So I'm just working that straight into my crease using windshield wiping motions, getting that blended out up towards my brow bone, also towards the outer corners. We just want this to be quite diffused all over our eyes as it is the transition and base. So I'm also going to take that onto my lower lash line as well, just sweeping it all over right from the outer outer corner to the inner corner. Next up, I'm going into the shade No Milk, and I'm going to focus this at the outer corners of my eyes to just slowly deepen out the outer edge. I'm also going to take that onto my lower lash line as well, but I am using a defining brush, and I'm going to kind of make that line a little bit more straight rather than curved, just to really open up my eyes. And then taking the RJ Super Shock shadow in the shade Fluffy and Hungry, I'm going to use my pinky finger to dab that onto my eyes first, and then I'll get a brush to diffuse and spread that out. It's a really nice light champagne gold. It's super pretty, got a lot of micro glitters in there. I really wanted to use the Super Shock since, you know, this is technically my RJ look. And finally, to complete the look, I'm taking the shade Wise Cracker, and I'm going to use this to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. In the pen, it looks like it has a bit of a pink undertone to it, but I think once on the eyes, in my inner corners, it definitely has more of a lighter gold reflex, so it's super pretty and very reflective, which is what I wanted. So I'm also going to take that onto my lower lash line as well, just at the inner third. And finally, here we have the final look completed. This is my RJ look, and I definitely wanted to keep this last look a little bit more soft and everyday and something a little bit more me. Although I absolutely love the first two looks, I feel like we played with a lot of color there. I thought for the last look we could do something a little bit more soft glam, but I love how you can get this look out of a rainbow palette. So with that being said, that is the final look completed, my RJ look. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. So those were all my 3 looks, guys. I completely forgot to film an outro, so here is me posing for my thumbnail. But I really do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and like the video if you did enjoy. But thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I'll go ahead and see you guys in my next video. Bye!